just as an FYI. Okay, so I am waiting to see if we are live. And if we are live, this is Kim. And Chrissy's on as well. If I can figure out if we're on or not, though. It says we are. I'm trying to check YouTube. Oh, wait, now I need to see if I can hear you, Chrissy. If we are live, this is Kim. And Chrissy's on as well. That's Chrissy, because you need to talk, Chrissy. If we're on or not, though. It says we are. I'm trying to check YouTube. Oh, no, it can barely hear you, I don't think. This is Kim. And Chrissy's on as well. That's Chrissy, because you need to talk, Chrissy. No, it's got to be my setting. If we're on or not, though. It says we are. I'm trying to check YouTube. See, we can't. Oh, no, it can barely hear you, I don't think. Okay, wait, you need to talk because I need to mute this. No, it's got to be Okay, I'm going to mute, but you need to talk right now. Just say something. Okay, stop. You can stop talking. Sorry. It's yours isn't coming through, so you need to come in here with me. Sorry. Okay, thanks. Well, that was fun to figure that out, that we Okay, stop. You can stop talking. Oh my gosh. Sorry. It's yours This is a nightmare. So you follow the instructions to a T, and they turn around and they say, "Oh, by the way, you followed the instructions to a T, and it's not going to work." But yeah, unfortunately, the only way you can test that live part is live. So anyway, we're going to be talking about why financial freedom. Chrissy will be here in a minute to come join me. And we got on this topic because of, well, I mean, a lot of reasons, right? It's 'tis the season to be talking about it and everything. And here comes Chrissy.
Oh, my own microphone.
You want your, I don't know how to do that. Sorry. So,
you need to kneel or something?
No, I don't know. I mean, we can move my chair out or something. Woo! That's a slopey. This would be, I should turn the camera on because it's hilarious. But
no.
Anyway, so we started talking about financial freedom. For those who don't know, I'm going through my own personal drama in life, and my entire life was just kind of turned upside down. And so I moved in with Chrissy, Cassandra and I did, and we've been trying to kind of figure out how life works, I guess. And so, you know, we've been hearing all these things, and we've been seeing a shift because of, you know, the pandemic and everything. And we started a discussion. I don't know. We always are talking about financial freedom. And so why financial freedom? And it's funny because on Castle, they actually kind of talk about this a little bit.
What if you win money or something?
No. So I think they were talking about that.
What would you do if you get a whole bunch of,
if you won
a large amount of money.
Yeah, a large amount of money. So like if you won the lottery or something like that. And they had this discussion on what they would do, and
everyone had something.
Yeah, but someone, what's her face? Kate asked Castle. Was that her name, Kate?
Did she ask Castle, or
yeah? She goes, what do you do with your money? And he's like, because he said money
did it change you.
Yeah, he goes, money doesn't change you; it just enhances who you are. And she's like, well, did it change you? And he's like, no. At first, I was really dumb and, you know, did all the same things and stuff like that. But then once he finally came around, he decided that he's like, well, what did having a lot of money mean for him? And it was, he had the freedom to, you know, spend time with his daughter and to do the things that he wanted to do. And that's really what financial freedom comes down to. So if you want to travel, that's what you want to do. And if you want to stay at home and just be able to order pizza every night, I mean, that's what you want to do. I mean,
what are you trying to say? I ordered too much pizza?
No, gluten-free pizza is expensive. So that would be, you would have to have financial freedom to order gluten-free pizza every night.
Yeah.
So we got on this topic, though, with my brother-in-law, so Chrissy's husband. And go ahead and, why don't you tell them what he said?
Well, what he said, or you want me to lead up to it?
Yeah, lead up to it, obviously.
So the conversation started with Kibo and the fact that the training was going to be starting soon and what exactly it was. Now, we've obviously known about what Kibo is for, that's the third year going on. And I've told him this over and over again.
For 2 years,
For over 2 years.
Right.
And for some reason, this year, he's like listening to me. And I didn't know he was really listening. Because he was like, are you trying to sell me on this? And I was like, what are you talking about? I already have it. And I was like, yeah, go ahead and buy it for me, ding dong. But he didn't do that. He said, because what you're doing is selling me on you doing it. And I was like, ha ha, funny, you know. And the next day he came home and he goes, so I've been thinking about what I want to put on my shop. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What is going on? And he goes, well, we've got a stir up of our company right now. You're distracting me.
Sorry.
And
don't watch.
Basically, he said that they laid off 5 people last week and they were getting ready to lay off 9 more people. And that in order for them to keep this one specific guy that was in the shop that he works at, now my husband's having to go out into the field to work, which he hasn't been in for many years, because he's the only person in the shop that has field experience. So for them to be able to keep this one person, because they have to lay off this one more person type thing, they had to move him into the field. And now he's thinking, oh, maybe there's not going to be enough work for all of us. Because in the past, they've come in and said, either we lay everybody off for 3 weeks, and then you chance getting picked back up again, or you can basically take vacation time. And vacation time is not paid. So that's a huge change. And that we haven't seen this for years. And the fact that this is happening, it has him thinking. So he's like, I'm going to compete with you guys now on Kibo. I'm going to do this, and this, and you're going to be working for me. And I'm like, yeah. Let's see.
Probably not, but but you know, the important thing to keep in mind is that in today's day and age, there is no such thing as job security. I mean, the part of the reason why they had to lay off so many people was because they can't get the materials in that they need to do their job. So if they can't do their job, they can't pay their people because they can't get paid for doing the job that they can't do. Right? I mean, it's one of those, which came first, the chicken or the egg? And the fact of the matter is if you can't provide the service of the goods, you can't get the money. And that's what's happening is they can't provide it. And then double that with the fact that a lot of companies are closing and maybe they're shutting down their projects. Right? So there's a huge, huge shift right now into e-commerce. And that's because, now I'm going to say there are some challenges with e-commerce because of the same challenges that we're seeing in other industries. But e-commerce is a way that you can, expand your portfolio, right? So he can work and he can do e-commerce, especially the Kibo model. So before we jump into talking more about Kibo, let's go over real quick the e-commerce business models. And I know I'm missing one here for some reason, but there's dropshipping, which is what the Kibo model is. Then there's print on demand, which we teach. You can go through our channel and you'll see that we have a bunch of videos on print on demand. Then I put retail because retail is more like the traditional, I have a product and I'm going to send it out. But there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. In fact, the next one I think I might put is, oh man, I'm going to put them on the same thing, right? Sorry, we tried to prep this, but I have like 15 projects going on. So I couldn't get this up fast enough.
Computer was like, nope, you can't do what you want to do.
Yeah, I had to shut down like a lot of stuff just to be able to open this. All right, so I want to close Zoom, but I don't want to screw this up either. So I think we're just gonna leave it exactly the way it is. Okay, so retail, and then what was I gonna say? Oh, white label. So white label is kind of, there's a lot of different crossover on this, right? So drop shipping is when you, so there's a supplier that has a product. You're going to take their product, put it on your website, and you're going to sell it to somebody. Then when they purchase that product, you tell the supplier, hey, I've sold this product, send it to this other person, send it to my buyer. And they just send it to them. And it's called drop shipping because they just ship it directly to the customer. I'm sure there's a long reason why it's called that, but that is what it is. Now, print on demand is when there is a supplier, but you design something. So let's say leggings, right? So leggings is a big one. And you design the leggings and you have the design made already and everything else. And you say you have mock-ups and everything and you put it on your website. You sell it and somebody buys it from you, but you're going to tell now the print on demand company, so the supplier, to make it and ship it. So it's kind of like a drop shipping model, except that you have to design the products in order to be able to have them made and sent to the customer. So Depending on, of course, your suppliers, it could take a little bit longer for print on demand. Then there's, of course, retail, and that's where, so drop shipping and print on demand, you don't have inventory up front. But retail, so retail here is one where you're going to have inventory. So Chrissy and I do this a lot, right? We buy product from suppliers, and then we have the product, physically have the product, and when somebody buys it from us, we ship it out. And then there is white label, which is where you have a product manufactured, and then you can, from there, you can either put it in warehousing like Amazon, fulfilled by Amazon, so FBA, or you can even do that now on your own, where you have your own website and you have warehouses that hold your product. So there's a lot of different models. And even we can even add on affiliate marketing if we wanted to, so you can do affiliate products with e-commerce as well. And so e-commerce is a really good business model for making money, but there are pros and cons to each of these, of course. With drop shipping, and this is the number one complaint we got from people the last 2 years with Kibo, is they keep thinking, oh, if I buy Kibo code, I have US products. But that's not the way it works, right? They're suppliers, US suppliers. And like some absurdly high number of products are made overseas. So US products, there's not a whole lot of US products, and the demand is for cheaper rather than US made, unfortunately. So drop shipping, you're still going to be selling products that are made overseas, which means there's still logistical problems, right? Still logistical problems. So you can still run out of inventory of things. But here's the great thing about drop shipping, especially with the Kibo model. Hundreds of thousands of products, right? Hundreds of thousands of products that you could potentially use. So that you could potentially sell. So if one runs out, you just find another one, right? And if there's 3 suppliers of something, you just switch to another supplier. So drop shipping has advantages in the fact that with the Kibo model specifically, that you're using US suppliers. Now they also have integrations built in so that they can do some inventory control and everything else, which in the past has been a huge problem. So now I can't go through all the details of Kibo because there's a whole entire webinar on that. And if you're interested, there is a link in the description if you want to learn more about Kibo Code, which we do highly recommend. This is one, we have bonuses. In fact, I'll talk about the bonuses when we're done with this, but we've got bonuses that we're going to do because we really, really like the model. Now, print on demand has its perks in that you don't have inventory. Disadvantage that you have to design, but we have provided some really great information on how you can design and do fast. Print on demand and drop shipping, neither one require you to pay for inventory up front. But you do need to purchase the product when somebody buys from you. So there is a gap, depending on, where you're selling and everything else, there's a gap on collecting money. The difference with print on demand and drop shipping is usually profits. Okay, so print on demand, if you want to compete with other people, you're probably only going to make a few dollars per design. Or per product, I guess.
Well, it depends on which marketplace you're on, really. But yeah, you're only going to, because a lot of these people don't understand cost that can do print on demand. It's so easy now to get into. There's no upfront. It used to be you had, do, I don't even remember, like contracts and stuff like that and minimum amounts or whatever. And it was so hard to get into print on demand that it was not as competitive. So now with print on demand, there's so many people going in, and they're not only finding like when we were doing the company we worked with, and then someone else would find someone who does it cheaper, right. But the quality was so far down there.
Yeah.
And they're close to our prices, but because they're close to our prices, but slightly under, they're selling maybe the same. They might have stolen our design and they're selling it, but we couldn't do anything about it. So they're going to sell it because they're able to find the cheaper, not necessarily the high quality. So right. Unfortunately, for us, that's a competition thing. Is they don't understand cost or they find the cheapest out there and just do that. We like quality.
Yeah. So we pick quality, but even still, you gotta price it where people are going to pay for it. Mm-hmm. And typically, because you're already paying X amount for the print on demand model, if your target market is somebody who is normally buying a $6 pair of leggings and you're trying to sell them a $40 pair of leggings or higher, then you're gonna have a mismatch there, right? You're not gonna make any sales. So print on demand is a little bit more challenging because you have to charge higher, and so typically to find that sweet spot, you're gonna have less profits. Drop shipping, you have similar challenges with it, except that, and both with print on demand and drop shipping, when you're on your own website, you can basically set the price because people aren't necessarily going to be competing. So like if you're on Etsy as an example, and you're selling the exact same product as somebody else, and they're selling it for cheaper, they're going to get sold, you're not, right? And if you're drop shipping and you're both drop shipping the same product from the same supplier, they're going to keep selling it and you're not, just simply because your price is different. So if you're on your own website, which is what the Kibo model teaches, then you're fine. Print on demand is the same thing, where you can theoretically have higher prices simply because you're on your own website. But if you try to sell designs that are, everybody's selling camo designs or something that people can go buy for $6, you're not going to have as good of a profit margin, or any. People may not buy. So print on demand is a little bit harder to do as far as scaling. You could scale galore with both drop shipping and print on demand, which is great. But your profit margin can be a little bit better with drop shipping if you think about it. So if you sell a $10 product and you double the price, you sell it for $20. With print on demand, it doesn't matter if your cost is $10, $50, $100. You're not doubling each time. Whereas with drop shipping, you have the potential to possibly add in the same percentage, and that you buy or you offer a larger dollar amount item, you can make more profit, right? So there is that potential there. So, but they're very similar. So I'm not saying don't do one or the other. In fact, we encourage you to do both drop shipping and print on demand, because those are two that you don't need money up front. You can get started. Then there's retail, and Chrissy can tell you how hard it is when you get a $1,000 day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she's up for hours and hours and hours trying to fill all the orders, and that's just filling the orders. So if you add in all of the work that she has to do, if she wanted to do much more than $1,000 day with a 50% profit margin, so that's $500 profit a day.
I do not believe I could sustain $1,000 a day and keep increasing my inventory like I do now.
Right. Yeah. So that's the problem, is that you have to do that. If you are in a retail type business, you have to keep bringing in inventory. So the only way to scale in retail is to add employees. And that's really difficult to do when you work from home, or if you just want to keep your overhead down, because you have to basically, you add an employee and maybe you increase your profits by 5% by adding an employee, but you have all this overhead and all this risk now. You have insurances, you have, so much more you have to worry about.
They're not going to call in every day.
Right. And like UPS is having a problem with right now.
Everyone is.
And then white label, of course, is when you manufacture from somewhere else, usually overseas, and then they ship you the product, and then you can either sell it out of your house, sell it out of your business, or you can put it into warehouses and have it essentially drop shipped, but you still own the product, right? So those are the four core ones. I'm sure there are lots of hybrids and everything else that we could talk about, but these are the four main ones that are common. So let's look at this from a drop shipping model. So I talked about this. So let's say that you're doing $1,000 a day, and I'm doing the math for you guys just so you can see it, and you're only getting a 20% profit. Okay. So we're going to say times 0.2. So you're making $200 a day, but the only thing you're doing is listing stuff on your site and doing the marketing, right? So all you have to do is keep testing and keep testing and keep going and keep doing the exact same stuff over and over again, and you just keep scaling, right? So eventually you could be doing, $50,000 a day, right? And so then you say, okay, well, now I'm making $10,000 a day. Now print on demand, if we're doing $50,000 a day in sales, it doesn't relate to a percentage necessarily, right? It could be based on products. So I'm trying to think of one of the prices of the products. Isn't it like $39 or something? Isn't that one of the leggings?
I don't know.
I think let's just go with $40, okay?
That's with the buy button.
So if you're doing $50,000 and you're doing it at $40 a pop, you're doing 1,250 sales, right? And so then you're going to say, okay, maybe you're making $5 on each one. So you're still doing $50,000 in sales, but you're only making $6,250 per day. Still good, right? Still good. Of course, you have to get to $50,000 a day. These are just so that you guys can see the numbers and extremes. What?
I'm there tomorrow.
You're there tomorrow, yeah. So then, and in retail, like I said, it's unrealistic to think that you can get to $50,000 a day and not have to be hiring employees and everything else. So we're not even going to look at that one, because we've already capped out at $500 a day in profits and we're dying, right? And then of course, white label is going to be a whole different world. So just to give you an idea, think about that for scaling purposes. So white label, the biggest problem is you have to pay for inventory up front. I'm going to tell you guys now, I think I spent $17,000 on a stupid product, and it wasn't anything what I wanted it to be when it came. The quality was crap, and then my, I don't know, estranged husband now, but husband at the time, threw them all away because we just couldn't do anything with them. So we wasted basically all that money. And, you know, that's the risk you run when you white label, especially when you don't know what you're doing. So if you're like, hey, that's what I eventually want to do, great. But you should probably get started with testing products and finding out what can sell. And then, so if you're doing drop shipping, and let's say you're drop shipping, I don't know, what do you want to drop ship?
That's a good silver. No. I mean, could, but.
I mean, you could drop ship basically anything. Let's do a desk, right? Let's do a desk.
Yeah, okay, let's do a desk. Okay.
Yeah, so look, you're going to be drop shipping desks, maybe student desks, because that's super popular lately.
Shh, don't tell people that. I'm going to do that tomorrow.
So if you're drop shipping student desks and you're like, hey, I'm going to, I'm going to, what am I doing? Oh yeah, so you oh my gosh, I have a headache. So you're drop shipping the student desks and you say, okay, well, I noticed that people, while they like the desk, they keep asking for a specific feature. Maybe they want
cup holders.
Yeah, cup holders. Maybe I do have a cup holder in mine. So maybe they want cup holders and you're like, you know what? I don't have that as an option to drop ship. But you find, you know, you're like, you know what? I'm going to do a white label route because I know this sells. I already have pixel data. Sorry, I had to come up with a word. I had to go through several words in my head first. So I already have pixel data to help me identify people. So if I want to do ads or something else, I can do that, right? You've got a history of people buying this. You know that there's a demand. You know that people want this, and you're like, hey, and I can come in at the price point because you go to Alibaba or whatever, and you find a supplier. And so that's how you add that on. So drop shipping is a really good way to test and see what's going to sell. Print on demand is good too, but the difference is that you know people buy leggings. So really what you're trying to do is you're trying to figure out what designs they're going to buy, right? So then if we're going on to a white label, you're kind of doing a hybrid white label / drop shipping as it is with print on demand. Your profits are a little bit lower. But you could do the same thing. You find out that, oh, hey, of course, with clothes, it's a little bit different because you have all these different sizes. But theoretically, maybe you find a jacket that you're like, hey, this jacket sells really well. I'm going to go ahead and white label it so I can have 1,000 of them and I can put them in warehouses and I can have them shipped from Amazon or whatever, right? So that's later on. So if you're just getting started, drop shipping is one of the best ways to get into e-commerce, to scale, and to, you know, build your company and make money. So that way, when your significant other comes home and says, hey, they laid off everybody at work, you don't have to worry as much. You can go, okay, well, no big deal. We'll just go ahead and scale our business.
No, it's not me worrying. It's him worrying. He has to work for me.
So anyway, we wanted to share that information with you because we were talking about it and it was something that we felt was important. Kibo is open right now if that's something you're interested in. Let me go over really quickly if I can find it. So this is our page right here. The link doesn't go there, but if you want to, it's the littlebizresources.com and just click on the Kibo Eclipse one. And so anyway, you have a little bit of a review here, which that video up top, sorry, I'm scrolling pretty fast. I know. So this video up here actually is an overview of it, a better overview of Kibo itself, Kibo Eclipse, because that's what's going right now. And then there's a little bit of information in here from just kind of giving you some ideas and stuff. And then we have some exclusive bonuses. So first of all, we will have the Pinterest e-commerce workshop. I put these bonuses up before we knew what was in Kibo Eclipse. So one of the things that they're doing in Kibo Eclipse is Pinterest training. I don't know how in-depth it goes, but we have found a specific method on Pinterest that is working for driving traffic to shoppable pins. So there's a couple of elements you need to know about that is one, how to create a shoppable pin, and two, how to get that shown on Pinterest, right? And so that is the strategy that we will teach. I don't know if it's going to conflict or not with what they're teaching, but we will teach you what is working. Then bonus number 2, we have lifetime access to the Master Marketing course. This is not created yet. We are creating it brand new again. It used to be, last year it was going to be an 8-week course, but we couldn't get people watching our videos. So half of them got canned and then we decided to kind of revamp it. And so we now have a home for it and we're going to redo it. But basically it's not going to be a course. It's going to be something you can go in and you can add as you go. So it's going to be basically the ultimate in marketing omnipresence, which is marketing on all different kinds of channels, with as much automation as possible, and then multi-channel selling, which of course we talk more about with the Merchant Marketplace. And if you haven't heard, the Merchant Marketplace is our new marketplace. And there is a link where you can get more information in the description. We haven't quite opened it. It'll be probably Monday. We're waiting for payment processor to go through.
It takes time. You said you could apply to the bank. Okay, 3 to 5 days. Go to apply to this. 3 to 5 days. I'm like, okay, really? Yeah. Does anybody work?
Right. It used to be a lot faster, but everything's taking a lot longer. And then, of course, the third one is the new marketplace membership. Now, it's more of a subscription than a membership, but it's a 5-year one, right? So I put this at a $3,600 value, but it might be more by the time throughout the time, right? So at the beginning, we'll probably have it at $60 a month for our highest level. But if we jump it up 6 months later so that there's an $80 per month one, Kibo buyers, when you purchase through us, you get moved up to the highest level every time. Okay, so if we end up having a $500 a month one, that's what you would be at, because for that 5 years, and then we'll lock you in at the value at the value it is right now. So I have that in a different screen. I'll have to show you guys. If you guys are interested in that, just reach out to me. I'll have but anyway, so this would be a 5-year value, and we are going to integrate with Printful, so print on demand. So if you're like, hey, I want to do drop shipping and print on demand, that's a good way to do that. Kibo itself does have its own connections as well, so that will be a benefit. We cannot promise that we ourselves are going to be connected to Kibo, simply because they don't have an open API. So we have to work with them and see if we can do it. But we'll see. If it happens, then that'll be an additional bonus later on that will be for the people who purchased Kibo through us. So again, anyway, so you can go to the link if you're interested in Kibo, or you can click the link if you're interested in the marketplace, and we will email you information. As soon as that's active, when you click on that link and you sign up, you'll be redirected to the sign up page. So as soon as we get that live, we will definitely do that. You can go look at merchlet.com if you want to. You can see there's some test stuff on there right now. You can even apply for an account if you want to. You just can't list anything yet, because we don't have any way for you to process payments.
Well, they can list it. It's just nobody can buy.
Well, I have to approve them first, though.
That's true.
So, yeah, I'm still setting up the videos and everything, but by Monday or Tuesday, we're hoping to be able to have everybody who wants to come into the alpha stage in there. That'll be about a week or two while we fine-tune some things, and then we'll be in beta stage. That'll be in beta stage for maybe 2 or 3 months, and then we'll be open for regular subscriptions. So your subscription will start after beta, right? So you get to come in whenever you want, and then after beta, you'll get 5-year value at that level through. So there's a lot of great things. Kibo itself is amazing. So if you're like, hey, I don't want your marketplace, then that's fine. The great thing about our marketplace is that we are helping promote the products on our marketplace. So if you have a product listed, including your drop shipping products, which you can only do drop shipping on our marketplace if you purchase Kibo through our link, right? That's just because it's risky. Drop shipping on a marketplace is risky, and we want to make sure that, we protect our marketplace. It's brand new, right? So that's the only way you can do it if you're drop shipping. Yeah, so I think that's about it. If you guys have questions, I know we've moved our time back an hour, and it looks like that's going to be really difficult for people. I don't see any questions.
Too late in Eastern time.
Yeah, it is. I don't see any questions here, but if you have questions, you can join the Little Biz Resources Facebook group and ask questions. You can post questions here, or of course you can come live next Thursday. I will say Kibo will be closed by next week. Right. I don't remember what the exact date is. Last year, I believe they closed it down on Thursday before. So we were doing it this week, it would be, so they were probably closed on the 3rd, but they can close it early if they get too many people buying already. So something to keep in mind. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. So check out that sales page. You can click the link in the description. You can sign up for Merchlet, and of course you can join the Facebook group if you have any questions. And Chrissy, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, it's just cute how optimistic you are in alpha and beta stages there in 2 weeks and in 3 months.
Well, the hardest part is getting the freaking payment processor.
Well, we had to call and get help on that, and now it's a weekend, so
yeah. So that's the only thing that's been kind of holding us up, is that we've been.
But on how much it's been technology everywhere else, true. I'm just not that confident as you. So.
Well, we can always just take people out of alpha and put them into beta. That's the thing. And the only thing is, the alpha and beta stages are purely to get people to test the marketplace.
Yeah, don't break it though.
Well, if you do, I'll have a backup at least. So yeah, but there'll be some growing pains.
Let's go get our stuff done.
Yeah, I got to do some stuff too. So thanks guys for watching and listening, and let me know if you do have questions. Thanks. I don't know how to close it now.
that's helpful. There's
I know.
a thingy up here.
That's the wrong one. No, it's this one right here. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Yep, bye-bye.